Hi guys, welcome back to my shop. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Monkey and this is Monkey Wrench. Today I'm going to do a really short video on why your mower, your pressure washer, your chainsaw won't run every spring. If you live up north, you already know this, but I live in Florida and I deal with this every single day. In the last 3 days, it's Monday, this weekend, I got 2 pressure washers right here, and I got 3, I think 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 lawnmowers that have come in. A bunch of those I'm going to be owning, and here's why. When you take your machine to a repair shop, after you've tried figuring it out yourself, the average repair shop charges anywhere from $60 to $90 per hour labor. And unfortunately, even though I charge half of that, I charge anywhere, depending on the customer and the size of the machine, what kind of machine it is, I charge anywhere from $40 to $60 an hour, which is why other repair shops in the area hate me. They destroy my signs. They hate me. But here's the situation. I get people that bring me their mower. They say, well, it ran fine last November when I cut the grass. Now all of a sudden it's April, it's March. I went to cut the grass. I pulled, wouldn't start. I hear the same thing over and over again. I test the machine right in front of them, tell them exactly what's going on. Tell them, look, it's going to be $50 for you to fix it. And they go, $50? I only paid $150 for the machine brand new. Or I only paid $50 for the machine used. You know what? You do good work. I'll be back with other machines. You fix my chainsaw, whatever. You can go ahead and keep that. Use it for spare parts. That's what all those boxes are for. Spare parts. So I get these machines for free from my customers. You know what I mean? Because they don't want to spend $50, $60 to fix a machine they only paid $50 or $60 for. Now here's the situation. It's very simple. Why your machine will not run after you've put it away for the winter. Most people finish cutting the grass. They push their mower into the garage. They push their pressure washer into the garage after they used it. And most people only use their pressure washers once a year. And they forget one important thing. And tomorrow I have to do the same thing on this Troy-Bilt Rider, which has been sitting here waiting for a part. That's my fault. You are not draining the gas out of your carburetor. Now, you might say to yourself, you know what? I live in a place I don't have a lot of tools. I bought a used mower for, $50, $60. I don't know how to work on them. I don't know how to drain the fuel out of my machine. And that's, that's the problem. I don't have tools. I don't want to invest, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'll tell you what. You can do this for free. This is just an old piece of string. It's actually a broken pull cord off of a machine I did a video on the other day. Shoelace, piece of string, anything. These are $1 at Walmart. Okay, they're like 79 cents at Harbor Freight. I use these. But if you don't want to spend $1 on a tool, just get some old string. And what you're going to do, and this is the tough part, ready? All right, you're going to pull your bail down, because when that's in the up position, the motor won't run. So you're going to pull your bail down. I'm trying to do this with one hand. And you're going to make sure that bail stays down. That's all you're going to do. You're going to tie some string around it. You're going to put your clip on it, whatever the case may be. Now, when you're cutting the grass and you're cutting the grass for the last time this year, down here in Florida, we cut grass right up till Thanksgiving, sometimes Christmas. But when this is pretty much the last time I'm going to be cutting grass for a few months, don't fill the gas tank all the way. Only fill it halfway. If you run out of fuel before you finish the job, you can always pour a little bit more fuel in there, maybe a quarter of a tank. The idea is when you're finished cutting the grass, you want to run the mower until it stops. Now, I've heard people say, wait, I heard that's bad for your machine. It's absolutely not bad for your machine. It doesn't change a dang thing. But what it does do, if you're finished cutting the grass, you tie off the bale like that with your clip or your string, and then you just let the machine run until it runs out of fuel. That's why I say don't fill the tank all the way. You don't want to go through a third of a gallon of gas at today's prices. Well, I just filled up the tank and now I have to let it run and waste all that gas. So don't fill up the tank. You know what your last cut, you know what it takes when you're cutting your grass. Does it take a half a tank of gas? Does it take a full tank? Depends on the size of your lawn. But the point is, when you're finished using it, just let it run until it shuts off. What that does is make sure that there is no fuel left in the system. There's no fuel in your carburetor. There's no fuel in your tank. There's no fuel. Why? Because today's fuel has ethanol in it. After about 60 to 90 days, the ethanol separates from the gas and turns into jelly inside of your carburetor. It clogs up your jets and makes your machine not run. The other thing we get in Florida is condensation, just like the outside of your soda can on a hot summer day. Soda's cold, it's hot outside, can sweats. Your lawnmower gas tank will do the same thing when it has fuel in it. It will sweat on the inside, and that will put water, condensation, moisture from the air, into your fuel. Your lawnmower can't run on water. The water always sinks right to the bottom. It's the first thing to go into the carburetor. You try to start your machine, there's water in your fuel. So if your gas tank is empty because you ran your machine until it was dry, your carburetor is empty, then there's nothing in there to hold temperature to cause condensation, and there's nothing left in your carburetor to jelly over, go bad, and clog your carburetor. Now, I've tested this myself. Obviously, I run a repair shop. I've had other customers test it. You know, I'm going away. Like when I went to South Carolina, I was up there for 2 years. And I left the machine behind. I emptied it with fuel. I came back 2 years later, poured fuel in it, and it started on the first pull. That is the problem with 90% of your machines that will not start every spring. And then you have to go through it. If you fix them yourself, watch YouTube videos or whatever, and you fix them yourself, you know all you had to do was clean the carburetor. I go through this with every single customer I sell a machine to. I tell them, listen, I probably won't see you till next year. That's wonderful. Make sure when you put your mower away at the end of the year, there's no fuel in it. How do I do that? Tie off the bale, let it run till it dies. That way there's nothing left in the system. It's an easy fix, and it will save you time every year if you have to clean your own carburetor, and it will save you money every single year if you pay someone else to repair your stuff. So very simple fix. Run your machines until they're dry. If it's a pressure washer, make sure you leave the water on. You know, you can't run a pressure washer without a garden hose hooked up and running water. So if you're going to leave it set, and it can absolutely set and idle until it runs out of fuel, make sure the water stays on. If it's your tractor, make sure it's in neutral and the brake is on so that you can get off of the thing and let it run until it runs out of fuel. If you get the fuel out of your machines, including your weed eaters, your chainsaws, you will not have an issue. Next time you go to start it, you'll put in fresh gas. Don't leave gas sitting in your gas can all winter long either. Most people will buy a gallon of gas or 2 gallons of gas and they leave it in their shed for 6 months, and then they think, oh, well, I just bought this gas, it's okay. Stop doing that. When it's the end of the season, stop doing it. Don't use old gas. It goes bad right in the container. So run them dry. Don't use old gas. Run down to the store, buy a half gallon of gas for $2. Start your machine up right away. Thanks for watching. See you soon.